Like I said, I was born in Cincinnati, 1952. I had 11 siblings, of which was a total of 12 of us, right? Same mom and dad, and dad was there the entire time. Once I graduated from high school, I wanted to just kind of chill out for a little while, right? And Dad said, "You eating an awful lot of grocery, for someone that doesn't go to school anymore, And I told myself, "Well, I go and I apply for a couple of jobs, So he told me after I got home, he said, "Did you get that job?" I said, "Well, I put applications in," and he gave me a life lesson that I shared with my children. Some of my soldiers that were getting out of the military say, "While you're waiting to do something, do something." And that's a life lesson to me, right? And after I graduated from Georgia Military College, like I say, I went to school again, what they call ANOC, which is Army Non-Commissioned Officers course at Fort Gordon. Leadership, communications, leadership, communication. They're building on those blocks. Then they sent me to encryption school, right? And the encryption school sent me back to Korea, a place called Camp Humphreys, which is a communications unit right outside of Seoul. I am an ordained minister, in which I love to talk, I love to teach. My claim to fame, and I think that's one of the reasons why my daughter wants to be a teacher, my claim to fame is that anything that I know I want to share. If it's going to help you, I'll share. One of the things that my soldiers told me right before I retired, they say, we're glad that you're hard on us, right? Say Top, you're really hard on us, and we get it. And I say, "Do you really get it?" And one of my soldiers said, I think so." I said, well, let me take all doubt, remove all doubt from your mind. Everything that I teach you keeps me safe after I retire, because I know those that are manning the wall that have come under my leadership, they're going to share the same information that I shared with them to be good leaders. In order to be a good leader, first of all, you got to be a good follower, and you share your information. You don't hog it up, you don't sweep it under a rug, you share it. Manning the wall means that the American dream, right, is the responsibility of those of us who wear the uniform, with the support of those that don't wear the uniform, right? You don't have to wear the uniform to be a patriot, right? But you must support our men and women in uniform, in order to call yourself a patriot. It takes more than waving a flag to be a patriot, right? You support those that are sleeping in sleeping bags 30 degrees below zero in Korea, or sleeping in a mosquito net in Panama in the middle of the jungle training, so that if there's ever a situation, the wall will keep the American dream alive and well. All right, that's what I meant. But my main postings, the ones that I enjoyed the most individually, were Panama, right? Because I'm a big fisherman. I'm a big what you call a jock. I love the outdoors, and I love fishing, sports nut. Germany, as far as culture is concerned, Germany was probably the most satisfying of all my tours. Right? It was very, very satisfying. When Americans go to foreign countries, the first thing, and I'll say this right, I don't mean to say it in a derogatory way, but the first thing American soldiers do is pick up all the bad words, right? They want to use the bad words so they'll know how to communicate with one another, But in Germany, as well as Korea, and speaking Spanish, and Panama, which is kind of a broken Spanish, they don't want you speaking their language, right? They want you to speak English so that they can pick up. They want to learn, Germany was I think the most eager to learn English and to learn our culture, all right? And our culture so parallels theirs, they don't know it. and they keep selling us beer. But they can't sell us beer anymore because I think someone told me that per capita, Dubuque drinks more beer than Munich. And I find that hard to believe, but I was sent back to Panama for a short stint. I set up communications, backup communication for the 82nd Airborne Division when General Noriega was captured. It was one of those things where we went down for basically ABC training exercise. My soldiers didn't know anything about it because of my classification, security clearance. I knew why we were there, right? And so I demanded excellence from them as I always did. But once we arrived there, and the 82nd Airborne Division started jumping from the sky, the Panamanians knew something was up, you know. But they had him barricaded inside his palace, and we didn't want to invade the palace, destroy the palace, right? And when I tell people how we actually got the most of the people to leave the palace, right? They kind of find it hard to believe. They had speakers the size of that door right there, and they turned on some of the loudest music you can ever imagine. And it was so annoying that the people were running out, you know, holding their ears, and eventually he gave up, you know. And I think, as a matter of fact, I think he passed away here about 2 years ago in prison.
Right,
He spent a long time in jail, right? And so, but that was my second tour. Again, Panama is that country that really poor, very, very, very poor country, right? But they have the so-called visions of one day coming to America. Yeah. And every country that I've ever gone to has had that. I'd like to go to only one city. They only want to go to one city. Which city do you think that is in America? New York. New York, New York, New York. It is New York. They all want to go to New York. You know, some Panamanians had family that were in the army, right? That they settled down in New York, right? So all the communication, they're all Yankees fans in in Panama. They're all Yankees fans, right? So that was very, very fun to me. But I learned a lot about different cultures, you know. I also learned that in spite of some of the problems that we have as a country, right, it could be worse. After Panama, I went back to Fort Ord, California, right, and I was the platoon sergeant in a communication background. They put me in an infantry unit, right, yeah, the 7th Infantry Division in Fort Ord, California, you know. And again, once they realized that I had a little bit something more to offer, right, my commander sent me to the post Soldier of the Year competition, in which I absolutely blew him away. So I was a Soldier of the Year at Fort Ord, California, in 1977. Yeah, I'm tickled to death about that, because when I was in advanced infantry training back in 1971, I was the outstanding trainee leader in my unit. All right, so it's a steady progression, you know. And so I found the Army as a mean to challenge me, you know. If you can imagine living in a house with 6 brothers, right? It was a challenge, you know. My dad didn't make a lot of money, right? So for Christmas, kids in my neighborhood were getting bicycles and everything, right? So Dad gave us each other, is what he told us. He said, I gave you 6 brothers. What else do you want? You know, what else do you want? But it was exciting for me, you know, to take these steps of progression. After Korea, I came back to the States, and I went to, trying to think where I went, Korea. Then I came back and went to Fort Bragg again. All right, Bragg seemed to be my hub, my hub home. And again, I went back to the 18th Airborne Corps NCO Academy as an instructor. Now, this time, I was instructor of what they call the senior leadership course, senior leaders course, which non-commissioned officers of the upper rank, when they came back to the base, right, we give them a refresher on leadership and drilling ceremonies and stuff like that, you know. And that was my last truly instruction assignment there. My life today, I'm still riding the wave of my military experience. I'm still riding that wave, you know. When I talk to young middle schoolers, you know, that they call me, like from Washington Middle School, you know, say, we got a young man here, I think he's lost his way, you know, could you come and talk to him, you know. Single parent household, no dad in the household, right? Can you come talk to him, you know? And I'd go talk to this kid and I asked him a question. I said, where do you want to be in 5 years, right? And, well, I want to do A, B, and C, you know. I say, in order for you to get to C, you got to do A and B. And then, do you think you're doing A and B right now? And the answer is always, well, you know, okay. But what I try to get them to understand, you know, that through life, my dad is the number one male in my life, but there was a police officer, a white gentleman, when I was in 10th grade, right? He would grab me by the collar, you know, and he talked to me. He said, look, if you want to do anything positive with your life, right, he said, you need to get on a positive path. Right now, you know, I hear stories about some of the things you're doing out here, you know, and, you know, you're fighting and all this other stuff, you know, so you can't be doing this, you know, you can't do this, right? You got to do something positive. And when he hears something about me doing negative, he'd go to my parents and let them know, you know, I haven't seen Ray, you know, but this is what I heard. Maybe you need to talk to him, you know. I think the last time I saw him alive is when 2 days before I enlisted, I went to the police station and I thanked him. Yeah, excuse me. I thanked him for kicking me in the butt, you know. And I was in Korea, and my mom called me and told me he had passed. And I flew back to the States, yeah, to attend the service, you know, because he made that much of an impact on me. He wasn't a fly-by-night kind of guy, you know. The guy, he actually really cared, you know. If he didn't care, he'd let me go in and go to the penitentiary like some of my other friends ended up doing. While I'm in Germany, Korea, foreign countries and everything, you know, serving my country, they're wearing striped suits, you know, and I could have very well been right beside him if it wasn't for him, you know. I love him, yeah. Which when it came time for me to retire, I bawled, yeah, because I was leaving something that I really truly loved. You know, I really loved the Army. Some of the things that some of our soldiers, especially those in specialized fields, go through anymore. You know, we call it like manning the wall, you know, for democracy. I don't even share that with my family because they can't conceive, you know, some of the things that I've been taught, you know. So I know what I see on TV, and I know what I see on the news, but I also know what I've lived in my life, and I know that we have the best equipped military in the world. This goes without saying. China may have the numbers, right, but they don't have, you know, something that we have, you know, that's inbred in us, you know. So there are some things that are going on right now, you know, that are local here, you know, that it's better that we don't know. You know, it's better that we don't know, you know. But I loved every minute of my military service. You know, I loved the people that I met. Right. I say this a lot in my 22 years. The only thing that I would change is the fact that I've gotten older. You know, but you can't change that. You know, so.